straight into guests of the week, and Freddie and Gerard Siebert are joining us in studio tonight, and they are from RevTyreTech, Pretoria East. All right, so before we get into talking about the product that we want to talk about tonight, you guys are obviously petrol heads, because I just see KTMs and I see Ford Mustangs, and well, tell us a little bit about your love for cars.
Well, that's not our business. It wasn't our main business.
Yeah.
We did some fiber installations and stuff, and then at least we could afford stuff like that. So we went into, first we did some Jeep 4x4ing, and then from there we went on to the KTMs and Enduro, and then now we on the speed thing.
And it's
again.
obviously a family affair.
Yeah, definitely.
Listen,
Definitely.
you've got two more sons, is it
Yeah.
three?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and everybody's on bikes and
Everyone
running
do one.
around.
Even the
On a
Muslim.
KTM.
All right, before we get into questions about the product, I think let's show the viewers at home what we're talking about. So let's just have a look at this short little video, and then we'll come back.
RevTyreTech. The first step is to remove, inspect and clean the tire. This is done by RevTyreTech trained technicians. Next, we prepare the tire for coating by sanding the inner wall of the tire so that our nanopolymer bonds perfectly to the tire and forms another layer of protection against punctures. The tire is then positioned for nanopolymer coating, which is sprayed onto the tire inner wall at a whopping 200 degrees Celsius. Finally, the tire is removed and allowed to cool, ensuring a perfect coating before the tires are rebalanced and refitted. The coating immediately closes a puncture in the tire with absolutely no loss of air pressure and permanently repairs punctures and leaks instantly. RevTyreTech Pretoria East. Puncture-proof your tires today.
Wow, what a cool product. I've got to tell you about it. I mean, when Fani said that we were going to have you guys on the show and this was the product, I was quite skeptical. But I must say I've been a bit of a convert since we had a discussion.
Yeah.
And in particular, the reason why I am is, I was product manager for one of the German brands. And it soon became apparent that we weren't going to be getting spare tires, or at best we were going to get tire repair kits in the vehicle. So we shot over to head office to go and perhaps negotiate for the guys to rethink that decision. And one of the things that they told us, which was very interesting for us, was that they didn't need spare tires in Europe, because on average they only have a flat tire every 80,000 kilometers. And even if they do have a flat tire, there's roadside assistance for the guys in sort of 15 minutes. So they weren't too concerned about little old South Africa. But obviously it's a major issue for us still in South Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, we have lots of flat tires, and you guys have got a solution. Maybe you can expand a little bit on that solution for us.
Well, yeah. When we saw this, I didn't believe in it either. So the first thing we did, we set up the meeting, and we said, well, we want to see this for ourselves, not just a video of someone taking it. Went there and drove over it and saw it actually works. So
I want to interrupt you there, because I just want to make it very clear that this is a puncture prevention product.
that's it.
Okay, and like we saw in the video there, this is a coating that gets applied to the inside of the tire, and it prevents your tire from going flat when you drive over a nail or a screw or whatever we have in our roads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've tested it, and I've installed it in my vehicles, drove a month or two, tested it, and it was still working. So that we decided I think it's a good product for our market.
Absolutely agree. Gerard, you are hands-on, like we could see in the video, and here's a video now that we show of the end product. This tire has been coated with the product, and you're driving over metal spikes.
Yeah, that's my vehicle as
That's
well.
your bucky.
Yeah,
Okay, and have you replaced that tire?
not yet. I haven't inflated it, nothing.
Nothing.
Still standard from the day we coated it.
Yeah, very, very impressive. Okay, I want to go back to the video, Gerrit, and you were there, and you did the whole preparing of the vehicle. When it comes to the preparation of the tire casing, there was a part where we sort of, it was almost like a grinder or a brush
Yeah.
that cleaned the inside of the tire. Now, firstly, why do we need to do that? And secondly, does that not damage or the integrity of the tire?
Yeah, affect the integrity
Yeah,
of the compromise the tire itself.
Not really. So what happens is the tire inside is oily.
Yes.
So the steel brushes we use, they clear the oil. So we make it a sort of a gravel, grover
Yes, a bit rough.
texture. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what the brush does as well. And then we clean it, we vacuum it, all the debris or whatever is inside, we vacuum it, and then we clean it with compound, so
Yes.
it's more sticky, for example.
Yes.
But there's no puncture within the tire, so it doesn't affect the tire's
Yeah.
integrity, nothing.
Yeah.
So only a steel brush on the top, and it brushes it clean.
Understand. And it's got to do with the adhesiveness
Yes.
of the
Yeah.
product against the
Yeah, so when the
inside.
tire's coming out of its mold, it's obviously been lubricated so it can come out of its
That's
mold.
correct.
When it gets
And
vulcanized.
if you've ever
Yes.
touched a brand new tire, it
Yeah,
has
it's very
got
slippery.
a very slippery,
Yeah.
oily type
Yeah.
residue.
I've got a question for you guys, and I'm delighted to say we've actually got some of the product here, and we're going to have a lot of fun with this, I suspect. But one of the questions I had is, obviously this gets heated up to a particular temperature, and it becomes a bit of a liquid.
Yeah.
Does it stay a liquid, or does this become
No,
a
so-
little bit more solid?
So we heat it up to about 200 degrees Celsius, and then it's a liquid, and then apply it, and while it runs at about 80 to 70 degrees, it's
Set.
Cools down and
100% take it off.
But I mean, it is
show the people.
it is sticky like you cannot imagine. I mean, you know, we actually chucked one up on the ceiling and it stuck up
And
on
it's
the
stuck
ceiling
there.
just now. So it's
It
quite,
might
it's
it
quite,
might fall off just now. So so what I'd like to do, Pete, is have you got a little bit of a demonstration
I
that
mean, look, I'm just, you know,
how this works?
here's a knife. So what? Yeah. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna try cut this like a block of butter, hey?
Yeah.
Okay. So. No.
So
Get it
In
out.
fact,
So
I'm
this
actually
basically
safety. Trying to get this out. And if we look at this,
just pick it up and show
There's no
the
penetration that's been made in this. You know, it's still
Can't
intact.
split it.
you can't split it. It's unbelievable.
Okay, so that brings me to the next question, and we've got another video of a tire that we have outside the studio. When it comes to, you can see that's flexible.
Yeah.
All right. The elasticity of the product on the inside of the tire. Obviously, we get it sprayed on. Okay. Does this now affect the balancing of the tire?
no, not at all.
Not at all.
Okay. Why not?
It's coated when the tire turns.
Okay.
So the gravity, it coats it 100% evenly.
Okay.
So it starts spinning, you spread in, cools down while it's running. Once we take
So
it off,
while it's cooling down, it's also still turning.
the only
like
time we
saw-
take
like
it off
saw in
is
the
when it's
video.
standing still, when it's done.
When it's cured.
100%
Okay,
cured.
and then it's exactly the same as
Consistency, yeah.
This.
I mean, one of the questions I had, which has been answered, and I don't know, Fritz, if you can show that video, was I was worried about whether we were going to still retain the same contact area of the trim.
There you can see it's absolutely as if there's no product in there.
Yeah, it was incredible. And I mean, you can also see on this video, there's 2 screws that have been screwed through. And obviously, that it has not made any impression on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that mirror finish. And that's actually, that mirror finish tells you that it's been coated very evenly as well.
Correct. And if we just wait here a little bit, we'll see the screws. There's the 2 screws that's gone in. And that was one of my questions, guys. Obviously, if it's a very long nail or screw, is it actually able to penetrate through the product, the inner lining? Does it actually go through, or is it just a fact that it goes through the tire and the product sort of stays bulges over the nail or the screw?
It depends on the length. If it's a long one, it will go through.
Okay.
If it's just going through, it will just bolt.
through the tire surface. Okay, now what happens if that nail comes out? Like we saw in your video, the
Pulls the
product.
with it.
yeah,
Goes and
and
seals it
seals
again.
the hole immediately.
What happens here is you cut it, it bonds automatically, and you've got your product on the same
Okay,
application day.
so obviously, this is a safety thing here in South Africa. This is a solution to a lot of issues that we have. We
Yeah.
we
Well,
don't want to be stuck next to the road with a flat tire.
The problem these days is getting stuck not next to the road while you're changing a tire.
Yeah,
You don't look around.
Yeah.
vulnerable.
Vulnerable at that
Yes.
stage. Yeah. So the elderly, can they change tires? Still, some of them can, others can't. I
I
suppose.
think it's something that we actually neglect a lot. Is to actually educate. Like, I don't even know if Nadia would be able to change a tire.
No, for
by-
sure. But
by
I mean,
herself.
and I think from a safety point of view, we mustn't forget that just this week we've had an incident on the N4
Yeah.
Yes.
where they stuck spikes on the road.
Yeah.
And when people pulled over to now change their tires, they were immediately attacked.
Yes.
Whereas with this, you're
You
just
just
going to
keep
be
on
carrying on driving as none the wiser. You might feel a little bit of a bump, but yeah. And you're going to steal their spikes if they're sticking to the tire. So.
All right. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's two safety questions I've got. We want to interrogate you guys as
Yeah.
best as possible. So the first is obviously this is. I mean, I'm absolutely sold on the fact, and I can see how this really, really does seal the tires. And when a spark pulls out, I can imagine how this actually self-seals that hole, pretty much like a plug would
Yes.
that you would traditionally put in. But if I have a flat tire, I know I've got damage to my tire. I know that there's either been a cut or something that's gone in. But with this, you're not going to know because you're just going to be driving all the time and your tires are going to be okay. So, I mean, how would you talk to somebody who puts this product in terms of the safety of the tire? Is there any structural difference in the strength of the tire?
Well, at the end of the day, the tire itself's got so much steel in it. I suppose that's still going to stay there. It will move out of the
Yeah.
way when something pushed through, and it will pull it back. And but yeah, you still need to inspect your tires regularly as you would without it.
Correct.
That's a fantastic point, actually, and I think that regardless of whether you got product in the tire or not, we should be checking our tires every day.
Correct.
There's no doubt about that. So I get that. I appreciate that. Then the second one, and I'll end off on that, is the tire weld that we can buy from any of the car accessory shops has a bit of a bad rap because I don't again think people realize this, that if you put tire weld into your tire, you really should, after you've got to your destination, throw away that tire and put another tire in on the vehicle, because the tire weld erodes the inner wall of the tire.
Correct.
So I take it that this product doesn't do that.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't do that.
All right.
So, like you guys said, this will last the lifetime of the tire.
Yeah.
So the best time to apply this would be when the tire is brand new or it's a brand new car.
Yeah.
Okay. Does this in the video we saw that it applies not only to passenger but to commercial 4x4s. This I can imagine would be an absolute winner on a farm.
You know where it would be a winner? Is with the Toyota Gazoo racing team at Dakar, who suffered from
maybe
they
we
would
should-
have won it hands down if they'd spoken to you boys.
Maybe we should.
Okay, and the last question: motorcycles.
Yeah, we've tested it actually today. Made a video of it.
There's an on-screen video, guys, of a very nice GS, I must say.
And yeah, we've tested it. It's got sensors,
Yeah.
TPMS,
Tire pressure,
TPMS sensors. We've tested it and it works 100% with that as
Balancing is
well.
also
Balancing 100%.
100% true.
Yeah, so it works on the bikes as well.
Okay. So
Spikes.
here's a test. That's just insane.
That's incredible. Love it.
That's amazing.
Well, I've got to say, we're not easily blown away.
No.
But gentlemen, I must say, this product looks fantastic.
Okay. So you guys saw the little promo video that we showed while we did the interview. You guys have a little surprise for us. You want to do a little bit of a lucky draw.
Yeah, like
Okay,
a
so
giveaway.
what we'll do is we'll post that video on our Facebook page, and then if the guys like and share that video, we'll draw somebody by next week, and then we'll
Yeah.
announce a lucky winner that will get a free application,
On their
a free
vehicles.
application on one of their vehicles.
Of
That's
course, the
amazing.
contact details are on screen now if you want to get hold of
Freddie?